U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Photo, Aaron P. Bernstein. Getty Images. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo plans to travel to North Korea next week to discuss the country's denuclearization plans, the Financial Times reported yesterday. The newspaper cited 4 people who it said were familiar with his plans. U.S. officials said that Mr. Pompeo had cancelled a meeting with his Indian counterpart in Washington on July 6 in order to fly to Pyongyang, the newspaper reported. It said Mr. Pompeo has assumed the lead role in negotiations, first as CIA director and then as America's chief diplomat. His visit would mark the first to North Korea since U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un held their June 12 summit in Singapore. A State Department official would not confirm the newspaper report. He told Reuters that there were no travel plans to announce. On Wednesday, Mr. Pompeo had told lawmakers that he was confident that North Korea understood the scope of the U.S. desire for complete denuclearization, as the two countries continue to negotiate following the Singapore summit. We have been pretty unambiguous in our conversations about what we mean when we say complete denuclearization, Mr. Pompeo told a Senate Appropriations Subcommittee hearing on funding for the State Department. Mr. Trump has drawn some criticism from national security analysts for an agreement that emerged from his June 12 summit with Mr. Kim. Summit had few details on how Pyongyang would surrender its nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. A day after that summit, Mr. Trump said on Twitter that there is no longer a nuclear threat from North Korea. Mr. Pompeo characterized the situation by telling the Senate subcommittee that we have reduced risk. Critics in the United States said that the agreement from the meeting between Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim was very short on detail. They also said that the Republican president had made too many concessions to Mr. Kim, especially agreeing to stop military exercises with South Korea, which the North has long sought. North Korea is under UN sanctions for its nuclear and weapons programs and is widely condemned for human rights abuses. Irish Independent.